Hey guys, thanks for joining us here at Salty Ginger Talk. For your trained listener, it's great to have you back. If you're new to the channel, really glad you joined us. Hope you like what you hear. So today we're going to be talking about work-life balance and the myth of work-life balance. So what do I mean by myth? Why do I say it's a myth? Why do I say it's not real? Well, I've got a lot of research and information to show that work-life balance is not actually what you're chasing. It's not what's going to make you feel good. It's not what's going to help you live a purposeful life. It's not what's going to help you maintain your energy. We actually want alignment, not work-life balance. So what does all that mean? That's a great question. We'll cover that as we go through the episode. So let's just jump into it. So look, everyone is chasing, you hear it a lot, work-life balance, work-life balance, work-life balance. But if balance worked, if that actually worked, why are there so many people that are tired, that are stressed out, that never feel like they're ahead of the game? Why is it that if that is the key, work-life balance is the key, and no one can achieve it, maybe it's not the key. Maybe it's not the thing we should be chasing. So I want to argue today that something that may sound uncomfortable to you, something that may sound foreign to you, is actually a better way to think about it, and actually a better way to try to set your life up. Work-life balance is the wrong target. Alignment, not balance, is what's going to create the energy and the freedom that you're looking for, okay? So, if you've ever felt like you're failing at work, you're failing in your family, you're failing in your health, you're failing in all sorts of areas of life, and you want to try to regain control of those things and feel better about how you're approaching them, this episode is for you. Because we want to help you feel good about work, feel good about your time with your family, feel good about your health, feel good about setting and achieving your personal goals. Because you're not a failure, you're not broken, you're just going about it wrong. The model that you're using to try to tackle those things is not the model that's going to get you where you want to be. We're going to give you some tips on some changes you can make to try to do that. So let's just jump into it and see if we can fix it. Okay. Point number one to consider here. Balance implies static, right? Balance implies evenness. That's not how life is. We all know life is not that way. Life is dynamic. So if we're looking for balance, good luck. That's like trying to say, you know what? I want the ocean to be calm. Okay. So it's fine when the ocean's calm. What happens when it's not? You're going to make the ocean calm? No. Just like you're not going to make your life balanced. You don't get a choice sometimes when big stuff comes your way, or you have to run a little harder, run a little farther. So there's research and science behind this too. So research in occupational psychology shows that balance assumes equal time and energy distribution. But human energy fluctuates daily and seasonally. Think about it. There are times during the day when you feel better and have more energy. There's times during the day where you feel worse and have less energy. The seasons affect that, right? It's winter where I live right now, and it's been a brutal winter. Very cold, lots of snow, one of the toughest winters in decades here in Cleveland where I live. And you don't have control over that. Like, you don't have control over the weather. That's how it works. There's studies from Harvard Business Review that show that performance and well-being improve when people focus on managing their energy, not their hours. And that's a different way to think about it. I've got to do 2 hours of work. Well, how do you know it's 2 hours of work? What if you need to do 45 minutes of really intense, focused work with no interruptions, and that gets what you would have got done in 2 hours done in 45 minutes? Because you were focused, you had good energy, and you attacked whatever it is that's important to you. So an example of this is an entrepreneur that works 70, 80-hour weeks while they're getting their business up and running off the ground, and then takes a week off and does nothing. Right? So that's not out of balance. They're strategically aligned, because when they're pushing the 70, 80-hour weeks, it's necessary for their business. And when they have time to recharge their batteries, which, make no mistake about it, everyone has to recharge their batteries. And you have to find what does that for you. Doesn't matter what it is. I love to golf. It relaxes me. It makes me feel good. I'm out in nature. I'm thinking only about what I'm doing on the golf course. I'm not thinking about all the other stuff that's going on in my life. I'm getting exercise. That works for me. I love music. I'm working on putting a band together with some people. Those things are fun to me. They recharge my batteries. So you got to find what works for you. So, and to balance your energy, the way to do that is to say, hey, right now, today, this week, What deserves my energy right now? What's most important right now? Maybe it's work. Maybe it's family. Maybe you got a kid that's struggling. You got to spend more time and effort on them. Maybe it's your health. Maybe your health is really struggling and you have to focus on, hey, I've got to really eat right. I got to go to the gym every day. It's super important for me to get my health back where I need it to be. Whatever it is, you want to focus on that. Intentionally allocate your good time and good energy to that thing. That's not balance. That's alignment. Okay. Point number 2. Time management. Okay, time management. Great. Like you should be trying to be productive with your time. Totally got it. But it's actually energy management that's more important. So if you block out time on your calendar and you're just not feeling it because your blood sugar's low or you're tired because you didn't get a good night's sleep the night before or whatever the case may be, you're not the time management isn't going to get you where you want to be because you don't have the energy to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So you've got to manage your energy more than your time. Tony Schwartz's research at the Energy Project showed that sustained high performance comes from oscillation. Oscillation, you guys, like a sine wave. Intense focus followed by renewal. Up, down. Go hard, rest. Go hard, rest. Right? Not rigid schedules. It's great to have rigid schedules, but the reality is very few of us have the control over our lives to make our schedule that rigid. So an example of this is 2 people work for 8 hours. One is distracted and depleted. They get a lot of notifications on their phone. They immediately respond to every email that they get. They stop when things start, stop. The other person protects their focus by saying, hey, for this 2 hours when I've got energy, I'm putting my phone to the side. I'm turning off my notifications and I'm going to grind on whatever it is that's important in my life right now for these 2 hours. That person's going to be energized and accomplish a lot and feel good at the end of the day. Same 8 hours, different outcome because of the way they allocated their energy. So your action step here is to identify your 2 highest energy hours daily. Doesn't matter when they are. Are you a night person? Awesome. Are you a morning person? Cool. Doesn't matter what it is. But you're going to pick those 2 hours and you're going to guard them like your life depends on it. Okay? Because that's when you're going to be the most productive. That's when you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. That's where you want to focus your efforts because you've got the energy to match your focus. All right? All right. Point 3. Saying yes randomly is a bad idea. Like, I love the movie Yes Man, but it's a movie, right? It's not real life. So decision fatigue is a real thing. Decision fatigue is all the little decisions you have to make every day. What should I have for lunch? What should I wear today? Which way should I go to work? Should I get the number 1 value meal or the 3 value meal? All of those little decisions. Should I read this book or should I watch that program? All those little decisions add up. And decision fatigue research shows that every unnecessary commitment drains your willpower and increases stress just a little bit. So it's just a little slow leak into the boat. Pretty soon the boat's full of water and it's going under. People who feel overwhelmed usually didn't get attacked by responsibilities. They accepted things without filtering them to see if they're important right now to be working on. So before saying yes, you got to ask yourself, does this align with my top 3 priorities today, this week, this season, whatever your time frame is? If it doesn't align, it's a polite no. That's not going to work for me. That's it. Not going to work for me. I get it. At work, sometimes you have to make changes because that's what work is. You got a boss. He says, that used to be important. Now this is important. I need you to stop that and do this. Welcome to life. It is what it is. If your kid comes running in and their finger's sideways, that takes precedence. Totally got it. Life happens. But those are rare instances. They're not the norm. And so under normal circumstances, filter what you're focused on and say no to the things that aren't directly contributing to moving you towards achieving your goal. All right? So you got to set boundaries. Speaking of which, boundaries are self-respect in action. Studies in workplace psychology show people who set clear boundaries report higher life satisfaction and lower burnout, even with similar workloads. So the example here is the one I gave already, turning off notifications. You can do that for a 2-hour period. How about during dinner with your family? How about setting your phone down and not looking at it? This is something I struggled with for a while. I'm better at it now. I'm still trying to get better at it. I'm not awesome at it, but I'm better at it than I used to be. You want to be intentional about what you're doing. If you're with people you care about, focus your time and effort on them. Don't look at your phone. Don't check emails. Don't respond. Oh, I got to take this phone call. No, you don't. You're choosing to take the phone call. So your action step here is to pick one boundary. No phone during meals, maybe it is. No email after 8 p.m., maybe that's a boundary you set. No meetings before 9 a.m., maybe that's a boundary you set. Start small, but it's showing respect for yourself and showing other people how they should treat you so that they can conform to what you're doing for yourself. It'll help you and it'll help them. It's a win-win. Okay, number 5. This feels demanding. Alignment feels demanding, but it's actually liberating, which is kind of crazy. There is freedom in discipline. Meaning-driven goal pursuit, and it's referred to as eudaimonic well-being research. So eudaimonic is really just a word that's derived from the Greek language that means living your best life at its core. There's lots of kind of different variations of that word, but eudaimonic, living your best life, well-being research. So meaning-driven goal pursuit, going after things that matter to you, that are important to you, produces higher long-term satisfaction than comfort-driven balance. The tax you pay for being comfortable is super high. It's super high. It's usually your health. It's usually your personal growth. It's usually your relationships. When you get comfortable, you should feel panicked. Like you should feel uncomfortable that you're comfortable. And I can tell you, I've been in that scenario recently where like comfort was really important to me. And that's a bad place to be. I wasn't prioritizing things well. I wasn't making good decisions. Not a good place to be. So when you feel comfortable, that should cause panic in you. So there's examples of this all the time, right? Raising kids, building a business, training for a goal. None of those are balanced, but they're all terribly important and they all give us a huge, huge payoff down the road. But they're fucking hard, right? They're not easy. Raising kids, not an easy gig. Building a business, not a small venture. Training for a goal. Let's say you're going to go train for a marathon. Like that's a lot of work. You're committing to a lot right there. And they're not balanced. There's not balance in those things, but it's alignment and using your energy to pursue goals that have meaning and purpose to you. That's the key. They're aligned with your purpose, and that's where you want to be. So your action step here is to write your sentence, this one sentence. My life is aligned when I spend more energy on X. Doesn't matter what X is. It's what's important to you. So like I said, I love music. I love golf. And those are hobbies that re-energize me. So if I have time to do those things, I have more energy to do my job, to be a good husband, to be a good father, to do all those things. And the beautiful part is I got 3 adult boys, so I get to golf with them a lot. So it combines 2 of those things. They love to golf too. My wife just took up golf the last couple of years, so she golfs with me. And look, it's a great way to spend time, but make no mistake about it. They adopted those because they wanted to participate in things that are important to me. That's why they became important to them. They love them too, but they got started because they knew how important those things were to me and they care about me. And so now we've got an activity that is good for all of us that we can all do together. What a great place to be. And that has purpose and meaning for us. And it doesn't matter if it has purpose or meaning for you. And if it has purpose and meaning for you, it doesn't matter what I think about it. It's got to be for you. So fill in the blank on that. My life is aligned when I spend more energy on blank and then build around whatever's in that blank. Spend your time and energy pursuing that. Okay? So the takeaway here is you got to stop chasing balance. Balance is not the right word. Balance, again, implies kind of homeostasis. Everything stays at one level all the time. Not how life works. Your life's never going to work that way. It's not the goal. Doesn't that sound like comfort? Again, the tax for comfort is high. It's usually your health, your money, your relationships, your personal growth, your happiness. Comfort is not where you want to be. You want to push yourself to pursue the things that are important to you. So when you're pushing and using your time and energy towards things that are meaningful, it's going to have kind of a continuous re-energizing effect, and you're going to feel so much better. You're going to be working harder, but have more energy than you do when you're sitting around thinking about stuff. It's a beautiful thing. So stop chasing balance and start chasing alignment, because when your priorities are clear, inner peace and happiness and energy and fulfillment are what follow that. Okay. All right, guys, that's the episode for today. James puts it up over here every day. Head over to our website, saltygingertalk.com. All of our podcast episodes are available there. Links to our social media accounts are available there. We publish a newsletter every weekday you can subscribe to there. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to our podcast, whatever channel you consume it on. Lots of great stuff on our podcast to help you live a life of meaning and purpose. We give you action items and tips that you can implement right now to start making your life better. It's all good stuff. You don't want to miss any of it. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out our next episode. We'll see you there.